For the last video in my special weapon series, we have a weapon that needs no introduction, the Infinite Launcher. To unlock the rocket launcher, you can purchase it in the store for 10,000 gold. However, there is a location in chapter 3-1 where you can obtain the launcher for free. Once you start the chapter, hop on the boat and head straight until you run into the crashed ship. A box on the ship will contain the weapon. Unlocking the infinite ammunition for the launcher is different from other weapons. Instead of purchasing it in the bonus menu, you have to complete the game in under 5 hours to unlock it. I recommend doing an amateur run to make your life a bit easier. Moving on to the weapon itself. It does a damage output of 30,000 per shot. This is enough to take down most major bosses in one shot, and pretty much everything else in one shot as well. Using the launcher makes any playthrough, even professional, effortless. There are two major drawbacks to be aware of, however, and those are the drawing time and accidentally blowing yourself up. Don't let the enemies get too close to you and those worries go away. For what it's worth, the launcher is modeled after the real-life RPG 7, and as always, all gameplay is on professional difficulty. I normally list the weapons in order of effectiveness towards the bosses and sub-bosses. However, since the launcher decimates everything, there is no need for that. We'll start with the first sub-boss and go down the list in order they appear in the game. First is the Executioner. Not much to say other than keep your distance and they'll get hurt trying to execute him. Next is the Chainsaw Homogenei. Funnily enough, the second mini-boss in the game is the only boss that takes more than one shot to kill. Since he has to go through his second phase, the first shot will not end him, he'll have to get back up. When he does, you can throw a second rocket at him or just shoot him once with anything else. Just don't let him get too close when he's flailing that chainsaw around. The Giant Homogenei is no different than the Executioner. Keep your distance and fire away. The Infinite Launcher can easily clear out hordes of lickers. A good way to cheese them is just mindlessly firing down a hallway you know they will come down and take them all out without them even turning the corner. The Reapers are still a one-shot dispatch. However, you want to make sure to get some distance before you try. Reapers are not very forgiving when they get too close. I've struggled dealing with the Gatling gun Homogenei during this series due to how insanely large his health pool is. However, it's still no match for the Infinite Launcher. One punch shot is all you need. The Infinite Launcher is no different for the main bosses. Most of them are taken down swiftly and embarrassingly on their part. However, there are still a few that need more than one shot. For the sake of this video format, we will start with the bosses that need more than one rocket to take down. Starting with Irving. This guy's been on my shit list since I started this series. His tentacles are quick and relentless on taking you or Sheva out, and if you don't have enough firepower or accuracy, it can be a challenge. Luckily, the Infinite Launcher makes quick work of him, even if it takes 2 shots. The only tricky part is hitting his weak spot at the beginning, and Irving himself when he pops up afterwards. You don't even need to deal with the tentacles using this weapon. Next would be Axela. When the fight starts off, you must hit one of her weak points and defend yourself from the smaller enemies on the ground. After that, her major weak spot will expose, and it only takes one more rocket from there. Those are the only bosses that require more than one rocket. The rest of the bosses in the game are incredibly quick to take care of. So up next is Ouroboros. Not much to say other than don't miss. This fight is rough for Pop Karimu. You can shoot him before he even gets into the arena and swiftly end the encounter. For U8, same as the others, just shoot the weak point of his mouth and it's over for him. For Makono, I honestly expected this to take more than one shot. I came in the room and launched a rocket at him and it was over. I expected more from him. Now for the main villain of the game, Wesker. For some big bad man, the Infinite Launcher definitely humbles him. We will get to the actual boss fight soon, but I wanted to mention the part leading up to it. Normally you would have to get an RPG and manually load it up just to shoot and stun him. However, with the Infinite Launcher, that is unnecessary. You can just use this against him and put him in his place while you're at it. As for the actual battle, it takes a single shot if you hit the weak point on his chest. That concludes the bosses of the game, and now on to my final thoughts. If you wanted to beat the game in absurd times, make sure you have the Infinite Launcher in your inventory. Be careful though, because it honestly makes the game a little bit boring. I like the weapon, and if you are having a tough time with a boss or enemy, you can whip this bad boy out and end the confrontation immediately. It's worth mentioning and note once again the shortcomings of the long drawing time and risk to your own health if you accidentally shoot too close. But running up some distance puts those shortcomings to bed. The Infinite Launcher is a staple in Resident Evil, and it sure doesn't disappoint in this entry. That wraps up the weapon showcase for the Infinite Launcher. If you liked the video, please subscribe, as I will continue to make weapon showcases like this for Resident Evil 5, eventually covering all the weapons. Check the description for links everything involving Resident Evil 5 and my weapon showcases for Resident Evil 4. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.